All right, how we doing? Let's take a look really quick at what the second week of our 12-week trimester is going to look like. This is the week of March 8th through the 12th. This is going to be your weekly overview, and every week that you have me in class, you will have a weekly overview where it's basically a review of things that we've done in the past week, and then leading into what we're going to get into for the current week that we're in. So I just want to go over really quick. You're going to see some kind of exciting stuff happening on Tuesday, but I want to kind of review, since we did have a 3-day week, what we were working on prior to this. Okay. So I hope that all my e-learners are doing well. I wish I had a chance to meet you in person, but totally understand due to the circumstances. So hopefully you're watching this and getting all the information. One kind of quick overview, when we do have these weeks at a glance that you'll have every week, just remember that you are only expected to do what is in this day's column. So if today's Monday, March 8th, then you are really only expected to work on what is in Monday, March 8th. Now, if you fall behind, you may need to spend a little bit of extra time catching up. My level of expectation is very moderate. I'm not really asking anybody to work at a ridiculous pace or anything like that. So really, every goal and every task that we have each day should be obtainable within a 40-minute period. Okay. Now, I just want to remind all of our e-learners that I know that when we get at home and we're managing our own time, sometimes it gets a little bit difficult, especially as an 8th grader. I personally remember myself as an 8th grader, and my time management skills were nowhere near what they were when I was in high school or college or even today. So just remember that sometimes it's always good to look at the clock. If you look at the clock and it's 9:20, just know that I need to probably work on my artwork until 10 o'clock and then move on. Another little piece of advice, and I'm personally not recommending, or I'm not requiring this for my class, but it is a recommendation, is that you take a look and pull up the actual school bell schedule. I know it sounds kind of goofy, and some of you don't really want to start at 7:50 in the morning, but it does keep you on task. It's there for a reason. It keeps everything nice and structured. And then you're done with your schoolwork earlier in the day, so you don't have to work on it until 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. Okay, so like I said, 40 minutes is what's expected every day for this class. And hopefully we can all get that done and we can show some success throughout the course. So last week we went through the syllabus, we went through the class expectations. I hope everybody had a chance to take the quiz. And I hope that everybody did well on that quiz. That quiz was not meant to challenge anybody to any certain degree. It was really just there to give me some peace of mind that you understand the expectations and so forth. So on Wednesday and Thursday of last week, what we did was we actually started your first sketchbook assignment. We will have weekly sketchbook assignments. And if you remember from the expectations, I believe I talked about how those weekly sketchbook assignments would typically be due at the end of the week. Because that was the first week and things were a little bit crammed and the first couple of days were a little bit of just understanding the course, I went ahead and made the first sketchbook assignment, and you'll see this on Monday. The first sketchbook assignment is due on Monday. Okay, so Monday should be today when you're watching this. And so if you need to know how to upload that work, you can watch this link. But if you think you already have a pretty good understanding, then you can go ahead and just simply submit it. All of our assignments will be submitted to Polaris. So this is a good practice run. If you have trouble, maybe ask a friend, ask another friend. And if you still don't know, feel free to ask me, watch this video, and I'm pretty confident that you'll be able to figure it out. So this assignment is worth 30 points. When you want to submit the assignment, I always recommend sticking to the week at a glance. You can click this link, and it will take you right to Polaris. It'll take you exactly to where you need to go. You're going to click My Document, edit the Google Doc, and then you're going to want to make sure you click Submit. One little piece of advice. When you start submitting assignments, make sure that you're clicking Submit and you're letting your computer process that submission. Okay, I know a lot of people, what they do is they click Submit and then boom, they shut their Chromebook and all of a sudden it never submitted. So that's going to kind of avoid you from losing points. remember that it is minus 1 point per day. So if you forget on Monday, it would still obviously benefit you to turn it in on Tuesday because you're going to get a 29 out of 30. Okay. Speaking of Tuesday, let's move along throughout this week, and then I'll give you some more time to get some work done. Tuesday, you're going to be introduced to the first project. I hope everybody's excited. It's going to be about graffiti. No, not necessarily the illegal graffiti. There is legal graffiti, is more of like a mural type of art. So you're going to learn all about that, get a pretty good understanding of graffiti. I personally think it's fun. And then you're going to have some time once you go through that introduction to research some of those different style of lettering. And you get to pick one that you would like to do for the project. Okay. If you have time left, okay, remember I told you to keep a eye on that time, keep an eye on that clock. If you finish this in 30 minutes, take the next 10 minutes and practice a little bit in your sketchbook. None of that is necessarily for a grade, but you can kind of practice a little bit of graffiti because there is a technique to it. Now on Wednesday is a tutorial day, which means you're going to want to click this link. It's going to take you to my YouTube page, and it'll pull up the exact link that you're supposed to watch. That tutorial is going to show you how to actually construct some sort of graffiti letters. Okay, it's going to show you how to draw graffiti letters. Remember that some of these may be separate links, so you got to make sure you click through the links. You can check out some examples of graffiti in the real world. So those are just some pictures of some cool examples of graffiti art. And so what you'll do on Wednesday is you're actually going to begin your rough draft. Okay. Now, just like language arts class, typically when you have an essay, you want to always write through a rough draft first. That gives you an idea of what your topic points are. It gives you an idea of like your proper grammar, citations, things like that. And then what you do is you take that rough draft, which is very roughly made, okay, and you fix it up, and then that's going to become eventually your final draft, right? So really on Wednesday and Thursday, we are simply working on our rough draft, okay? Our rough draft is totally separate from our final draft, right? Our final draft, we will actually start over on a new page, okay, and we will begin that process on Friday. But really, Wednesday, you're going to start your rough draft. I would recommend that it's either your first name, middle name, or nickname. I would prefer it not to be your last name because we really shouldn't be posting our last names on the internet. So try to keep it first, middle name. You could do your nickname, or you could do a word that's like inspiring to you. But really, it's all explained in those tutorials. So you should have a pretty good understanding of what the expectation is. On Thursday, these days are always nice for some of you. Thursday is a work day. Okay, it's a work day. Look at the clock, 40 minutes. Okay, and you're going to spend the 40 minutes completing your rough draft. A couple things I would like you to try on that rough draft. I would like you to try adding a drop shadow. Okay, to know how to do that, you're going to click the drop shadow link. I would also like you to know how to do a drip effect, which is just kind of a cool little effect towards the bottom of your letters. If you need to know how to do that, which I believe all of you will, you're going to click this link, okay? And it's going to show you how to do the drip effect as well as the drop shadow. Okay, if you want to see some of the sample letters that I came up with for people to use for this project, you can click the sample letters link here. If you need a review on how to upload this rough draft, the rough draft is going to be worth 30 points. Okay, so it's almost like another sketchbook assignment. You will turn in your rough draft here where it says upload rough draft. Okay, and that will take you directly to the assignment in Polaris. Now, once we get to Friday, I hope everybody has their rough draft finished and is ready for the weekend, but we do need to begin working on the final draft, okay? So your final draft is broken up into two parts. It's basically two tutorials back to back. I believe I just needed to splice up the videos at the time, but you're going to click the links and then work your way through the beginning process of that final draft. Okay, this is totally separate from your rough draft. You can basically put your rough draft aside. That was practice. And now we should have a pretty good idea of the process and the technique that it takes to actually create some graffiti artwork. Okay, don't forget, we have a sketchbook every week, which is totally separate from the actual project, the graffiti project that we're working on. So it's not your rough draft, it's sketchbook assignment number 2. Okay, sketchbook assignment number 2 is to draw your shoe. Sketchbook 2, draw your shoe. Okay, so you're literally going to take your shoe off, put it in front of you, all right, and sketch it out from real life in your sketchbook. If you have a photograph of the shoe, or if you would like to take a photograph of the shoe, that's totally acceptable. But it is going to be a fully drawn and shaded in version of your shoe. Okay, so if you have any questions about the week at a glance, please let me know. I hope everybody has a great week. And I'm going to keep this short so that we can keep on moving. All right. So make sure you get sketchbook assignment number 1 turned in so that we get off to a good start for the trimester.